Hi, I'm Tim and this is Timberway Designs. In this series of videos, I take 10 rocks that I find or a viewer sends in and I cut them in half to look and see what's inside. Then I'll take each one of them rocks and I'll make a cabochon out of, which I'll show in the next episode. Today I got 10 rocks from Michael in Missouri, plus a few extras we're gonna cut. And then I got the cabochons that Elena, the rocks she sent from the UK. And if you want to skip the rock cutting part, which I really don't want you to, I want you to see all of my video, but I'll put the number or the timestamp up for if you just want to skip ahead and look at the cabochons, which is fine, I guess. So let's turn the camera around here and take a look at some rocks from Missouri. So Michael was nice enough to send us a cool looking selection of rocks from Missouri. And these are the 10 I picked out here, and then there's another 4 over to the side, and we'll look at those. No particular order here. Let's start looking at them. So I got this one here. Not really sure what this is, but we're going to find out. Get it wet here. Some kind of, looks like almost a nodule of something. This little bumpy one here. And looks like it's sporting a lot of fractures there, but hopefully we'll have a hard inside. All right, this one here almost looks like a chunk of flint or chert. Like the pattern on it. This one looks like got some layering going to it. Now I'm not from Missouri, so I can only guess at what some of these rocks are here. Yeah, it looks a little hard there. And this one, not really sure. Ooh, got some color differences there. Okay. Another flint chert looking rock here. Ooh, cool pattern. And another piece of chert flint looking rock here. And what's cool is, if you look at the outside, it could look totally different on the inside. Nice little chunk here. It's got a little pattern to it. Some conchoidal fractures. I saw a seashell fossil in one of these. Maybe I was looking at that. And that is what it looks like wet. This one got a little layering going on there. Oh yeah, look at that. And this one here. Kind of a gray, really hard looking rock. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. All right, so these are the 10 rocks that I'm going to cab, but I did a deal in the last video where I let all you viewers out there vote on which rocks to cab, and I think I got a pretty good response, so I think I'll change it to, I'm going to put 14 rocks up, and I'll let you guys look at them and pick them out and see which ones we want to cab. So I got 4 more I'm going to show, the extra ones. All right, we got this lumpy thing looking here. It's like some kind of nodule or something. That's what it looks like wet. And got this one here. Got some layering going on in there. Yeah. And this one, not sure about this. Yep. this one here. Looks like it's got a little red going on in there. You know how I'd cut this. I'll figure it out. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll put a picture up with a number next to each rock right before we do the look at the cabs. And then if you want to pick out the ones that you don't want, there'll be a lot less effort. Or you can pick out the ones you do want. So just let me know in the comments. So let's gather these up. We'll go downstairs and start cutting. All right, we're down here on my high-tech 10-inch lapidary saw. I have no affiliation with high-tech. This is just a saw I use. So before we get started, I'm going to show you. This is a continuous rim sintered diamond blade. It don't cut with an edge. It cuts by grinding with diamonds. Rubbing my thumb on it, and it's absolutely not sharp, so it will not cut me. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sharpen it up. So to speak, I'm just exposing fresh diamonds. I'll run it on this thing about 3 times. So let's start cutting some rocks here. All right, first up, this one here, kind of layered rock. I'm just going to cut it right down the side. All right, first rock, let's see what Michael sent us from Missouri. Ooh, it's kind of cool. All right, and we'll talk about these a little bit more upstairs. All right, got this one here. I think I'm going to split it. I'm going to split it like this. Now that one was relatively soft. Let's see what we got here. Look at that. Yellow. There's no way that you could, well, I don't know, maybe here, I don't know. Look at that. Wow. All right, this one here. I'm going to cut it like this. See what we got here. Whoa, look at that. Wow. Kind of agate on the inside. Glad I cut it that way. Got this one here. I'm going to cut it just like this. And a little crumbly towards the end there. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Ooh. Oh, fortification right there. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, these are starting to surprise me. Got this one here. And I'm going to split it right down the middle here. Alright, that one cut pretty easy too, but let's see what we got going. Oh, spotted. Check that out. I was expecting some red or pink in there, but that's cool. Alright, got this one here. I'm going to take this side off here. Alright, let's see what we got. Pattern and color. Whoa, look at that. Wow. This one here, I'm just going to split it right down the middle. Alright, had a little breakage on this one. Let's see what we got. Wow. These rocks are looking absolutely nothing on the inside like they are on the outside. Okay, I'm curious what's inside this one. I think we're going to split it right down the middle. All right, little pink nodule. What are we hiding in here? Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. Got this one here. It's got a little red right there. And kind of greenish there. I'm going to cut this end off here. All right, outside, inside. Okay, kind of cool, little color there. Finally, this one here for the 10. Well, first 10 anyway. Let's cut this end off here. I'm afraid if I split it lengthwise, I'm going to have things falling apart everywhere. You know what? Let's split it. Okay, the reason why I changed my mind was I saw this here, the layering. Yeah, I think that was probably a good idea. Look at that. All right, got some extra rocks here. Let's cut these up too. This one, let's split it right down the middle. Let's see what this one's hiding inside. That is so white. Oh, that's nice though. All right, I gotta touch this blade up just a little bit. All right, this one here I'm gonna split lengthwise. All right, that's different. A little breakage there. That's not blood. That's just a red rock. All right. All right, this one, let's split it like that. All right, that one cut pretty quick. Let's see what we got. Yeah, look kind of rotten inside that one there. And this one, let's split this one this way. All right, last one. See what we got. Ooh, cool looking pattern in there. All right, so let's take these rocks upstairs, take a quick look at them, and move on to the cabochons. So we got a really nice pile of cool looking rocks here. Let's look at this one here. Run it through the bath, or the rock wash. So it looked like a chunk of chert to me. Kind of orangish on the outside. Probably been laying on top of the ground getting sunburnt for years. Look at that. Nice pattern. Smooth cut. It's just gorgeous. Okay, this one here. So had some layers going on the outside like that. Now I'm going to tell you what I thought. The first thing that came to my mind when I cut this rock and looked at it the first time. I thought it looked like a chunk of bacon. So, but it's just beautiful pattern, nice and smooth, and I think it's going to look nice. And you couldn't tell it was that color on the inside by looking at the outside here. All right, this one. I like these crusty rocks that, you know, you cut them open and you're like, wow, look at that. Cool pattern. And you never know that looking outside. Actually, I thought maybe there'd be some pink and purple in there, but nope. That's it right there. Kind of cool. Got a few little dimples in it, but nothing we can't work around here. This one. Had a pattern on the outside, so you get kind of a glimpse of what was going on in there. Some lines and stuff. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Nice, good cabbing material there. Going to be a super shine on this one. Yep. All right, this one here kind of surprised me. I thought, you know, so look, there's a fortification right there. Let's see if you, yeah, they're all over the place on the outside, and I just don't notice that now. Anyway, there's the inside. Look at that blue fortification right there. Isn't that cool? And that will be in the cab, because I don't know if it goes all the way through to the outside or not, but I'll figure some way getting it in there. That's pretty. Yeah, they're all over the place. There's some right there too. Awesome. We had this little bumpy nodule here. I was kind of concerned about it because it looks like it's really fractured on the outside, and even I'm still concerned about it because when I cut it open, it's just absolutely full of pits. I like the color though. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, kind of orange right there. We'll see what we can do, if we do anything with it. I'm going to let you folks out there help me decide which 10 to cab again. That worked out pretty good. So there's that one there. Yep. There's another surprise rock. Kind of look like that on the outside. Cut it open, and it's like a yellowish color with some cool blue on the bottom there. So a few cracks. So we'll have to work up on this end if we cab it. Yeah, neat. There's that blue stuff there. All right. This one here. Cut the end off, and I think that was the best way to do it, because now I got a nice little color gradient there. I have to go back for another cut. I don't know if this is going to be thick enough, but there's plenty of rock left over, or I can cut it the other way too. I was thinking about cutting it this way. I kind of like that, if I can keep the color contrast going in there. There's the outside, kind of chunky. And this one here kind of broke on me, but that happens sometimes. So that's what it looks like on the outside. And here is the inside. Look at that, another cool pattern. Other than the breakage, I think it's probably going to break right there too on this side. So the cabin will have to go down below there. Yeah, I mean, you'd never know that looking at the orange outside like that. That's what's so cool about cutting these rocks. And this one, kind of wonky, lumpy looking thing on the outside. Look at the pattern in there. And there's a fortification right there. So there's also a lot of pits and holes and stuff up on top. And a little geo pocket right there. We'll get it figured out. I think it looks pretty cool. I might take another slice out of this and see what, go a little deeper in it, see what I can find. Got the other ones here. And first one we'll look at is just that one, a round one. That one right there. Split it right down the middle. Kind of a grayish, whitish theme going on in there. Kind of cool looking, actually. Smooth cut. I'm not seeing any pits or anything. And this one here, the outside, look at that. And I like the color and the pattern, but there's a lot of pits. I'm looking around the side of the camera here because it's hard to see it here, but yeah, there's a lot of pits in there. And this one here, same thing, a lot of pits. There's the outside again. There's the inside. I don't know if I could do anything with this. I might be able to carve out some of it. Probably not. It's not looking good. So this one, I can tell you, I guarantee this one's not going to make the 10 cabs. And then this one here, another one kind of broke up while we're cutting it, but you know, a lot of times these rocks got fractures in them you can't see. Look at that. That's a cool looking pattern with the little red stripes and stuff in there. Yeah. All right, so here's 10 rocks, and I'm going to put a picture up again, and I'll number them 1 through 14, I think it was. And I'll let you pick out which ones you think I should cab. It worked out really good last time. I got a lot of responses, and I think we got some cool cabs the next batch I'm going to show you here. So there are the rocks for episode 65 that Michael sent from Missouri. So let's move these out of the way and look at some cabochons. Now we have some cabochons to look at that from rocks Elena sent from the UK. So first of all, I really appreciate everybody helping with picking out the 10 cabs. It worked out really well, actually. So I'm going to show you the ones that did not make it. So this was the crumbly granite looking one here. That was unpopular. This is this quartzite, the pear-shaped quartzite. And this is the potato rock. That was the inside of that one. You can see why that one probably didn't make it. So those are the 3 that did not make the cut. These are the ones that made the cut, and we're going to look at the cabochons now. So first up, we had this layered rock here, either flint or chert. Get it wet again so you can see what it looked like. Looked pretty same. Nothing spectacular. Made an awesome looking cabochon though. Beautiful shine. Thing was really hard. But look at that. So there's the original rock, and there's the cabochon I made out of it. Okay, this was the Loch Ness rock. I remember this one. Just a white quartzy looking rock here. Had a cool looking pattern going on inside. Kind of cloudy, I think is what I said. Here's the cab. A few little fractures in there, but I ain't gonna cut on that. Beautiful shine again. So there's the original rock, and there's the cabochon I made out of it. And this red rock with this green and white stripes running through it. If I picked it up here, I'd call this probably an amygdaloidal. So Here's Cabochon. Okay, shine, a little undercutting. You can kind of, looks like pepper in that square thing right there, but still looks pretty. Little pit right there. Not too bad. So there's original rock and there's Cabochon I made out of it. They had this chunky one here. Looked like it had a band of jasper running through it. And take a look here quick. You can kind of see that down there. Didn't get that on the, I used the other side of the rock instead of this side. So basically all I got was a dark jasper looking rock here. Oh, nothing cool in this rock, just the color and the shine. Shine's okay. There's the original rock and there's Cabochon I made out of it. This was this cool looking gray nodule thingy. You'll have to look in the other video. I can't remember what it's called or where it's from. Or I couldn't pronounce the name of where it's from. I don't know, it had some pattern in there. I thought it had some fortifications kind of on the edges here. You can kind of see them down here. Here's the Cabochon. Beautiful shine. Can't complain about that. Had some fortifications right along the edge here. Just, you can barely see them, but I don't know, I thought it'd come out pretty good. So there's original rock and there's Cabochon I made out of it. And this piece of, I'm going to call it chalcedony, had a lot of fractures in it. Get it wet here. Very pretty though. Here's the Cabochon I made. Got a little pitting in there. I mean, just a tiny bit. They're really small, and just couldn't quite get it out. A few fractures, a few pits. And overall, the shine was good. Rock looks kind of cool. There's the original rock, and there's Cabochon. This one here, I really liked. This thing got patterned like crazy. Look at that. Here's Cabochon I made. I think I captured a lot of the pattern in there. So there is the original rock. There's Cabochon I made out of it. This one here, I don't know, if I pick this one up here, I was thinking unikite, but not really sure. You know, it's got, I don't know. I'm not going to guess at this one too much, so. There's Cab. Nice shine. Got a lot of pattern in there and color. Yeah, looks like it got a little metal right there too. Hematite maybe. Yeah, right there in the front. Anyway, there's original rock and there's Cabochon I made out of it. Another chunk of chalcedony here. There. This stuff's always pretty on the inside. I would have used this side here, but I had this hole running through there. So that kind of nixed that one out. So I went with the other side. Well, here's Cab. Beautiful shine. Had like a fracture there, and fracture there. Stayed together. So there's the original rock. There's Cabochon I made out of it. And then we had this one here. I called it an agate. I don't know, I can't remember what they called it. It had waterline And then it had some fortifications along the edge there, and a big quartz pocket in the middle. Well, here's the cabochon I made, and it broke on me on the very last step, right there. Beautiful shine, like the pattern, but see what happens sometimes. So what I think I'm going to do with this is I'm going to round the edge off here, and then kind of polish that a little bit, and then it'll come out as this shape here, because there wasn't really much on this piece here other than it was the other half of my cabochon. So it happens sometimes. It's just, you know, wish it happened right in the beginning, not right at the end, but that's just the way it goes. So there is the cabochon, and there is the rock it came from. So I'm going to let Elena pick out 3 of these, and then the rest will end up on Etsy. And then I might make some more cabs out of this one here. This was kind of special, being from Loch Ness. And then this one here, I might use that up too. So if whatever she picks, I might replace them, so the whole 10 set pieces on Etsy. So there you go, rocks from the UK. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me cut them rocks that Michael sent from Missouri. There's some really nice looking pieces of rock in there. We're going to make some really cool looking cabs. And then the rocks that Elena sent, I made cabochons into. Kind of sad that the last one broke at the very last step. I mean, I was just cleaning up the back and it just fell apart. So, but I'll salvage the top part, and you'll probably see that on Etsy. So this video comes out every Wednesday, and then I have another video that comes out every Saturday, and I do every week. So if you're not getting notifications for them or anything like that, you can just look at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. I put them out in the US here, and Saturday and Wednesday. The subscriptions keep going up, and I really, really appreciate that. And I'd like to thank you a lot for that. And then all you viewers that haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Super easy. Just slide down, push the button, absolutely free. And then give me a thumbs up, everybody, because that gets the analytics out there so more people can find this content. And you can like it, share it, share it. I got to write this stuff down. Share it, push the bell button for notifications, and hype it on your mobile device. There you go. So I'm going to put a playlist up for all these rock cutting videos, and then I'll put the last video up if you want to go back and see Elena's rocks being cut in half. So I'll put a picture up with the numbers on there, and if you guys want to help pick out the cabs, you know, I wrote them all down from last time. It really helped me out, and I really appreciate the participation in that. So thanks for coming along and watching the rock cutting adventures on Timberway Designs. That's all I got, and I'll catch you later.